of 100% new products, less than 10% of the products are new to the world. For example, what I'm trying to say here is, let us take a new to the world product like iPod. I'm not talking about iPad, I'm talking about iPod. iPod by Apple was a new to the world product. And there was nothing which gave in to the world that the world which was using Discman and Walkman suddenly has a music system having more than 1,000 songs with a dimension of less than 2 inches. Second, you do not require cassettes upon cassettes. For example, I'm traveling since the cassette age. So I know what I used to do. I used to pack 2 batteries in the Walkman and also at least 4 other batteries in the bag, and around 4 to 5 cassettes of my favorite. At that point of time, my favorite singer was Nazia Hassan. But anyway, that's a different issue. So, and the second was Boney M. Of course, those are before your time. I mean, you're not even born at that time. So at least 4 cassettes, because my area of operation, TVS used to send me to either Indore or Vidarbha, Akola, Amravati, Yavatmal, Buldana, Nagpur. This was my area. And Indore. So in a month, I used to travel twice for a week each. And traveling is about 16 to 18 hours. There was nothing known as Volvo or anything. You just sit in a bus and reach Indore in about 14, 15 hours. So the point I'm trying to make is, from that, we suddenly come out to get a new product known as iPod, where more than 10 cassettes music is stored in a 2-inch product. Second, the sound quality I used to get in an iPod is something much, much superior to either a Walkman or a Discman. So these are new to the world products. The second 90% of the products are an improvement or maybe a slight modification of an existing product. So even if you take iPhone, it is not a new to the world product. It is a product with a few modifications and a few additions which make it unique compared to, at that point of time, Nokia, the market leader. So this is what new product management is. So as a product manager, it is your duty and responsibility to bring out new products for your company. So now let's see a few things about it. Whenever you're talking about a new product, remember, every product starts with an idea. Yeah. So the idea generation stage in any new product development is vital. And the idea generation, if you look at it, you'll be surprised the ideas can come from wherever. And it is not necessary that you can have a department of idea generation. You don't. There is no department of idea generation. But ideas can come from anywhere. Right? For example, if you look at many of the products which are in the market today, okay, so if you look at many of the products in the market today, you'll find many of the ideas have come from people who have nothing to do with product management. Yeah, from the users, from the customers, from the dealers, and so on and so forth. If I ask you in a very crude way, what does Amazon sell?
Everything.
Seriously? Seriously, is it a seller of Sony TV?
No, so it's an intermediary.
Something more? Where is the shop? See, every retailer is an intermediary. So the question is it a retailer?
Sort of, sir.
Yes, sir.
Seriously, it's a retailer? Is it a retailer? Because see, one of the criteria of a retailer is that he has to stock goods. Remember your marketing management, your logistics chain, from the manufacturer to the transporter to the wholesaler to the retailer to the customer.
Are they
So,
agents?
sorry,
Are they agents?
I'm asking you, what is Amazon?
Maybe agents.
Agents of who? Sony or Samsung or HP? All. So it is an agent of 100, not even 100. I think 2 million products.
Yes.
So it's the agent of 2 million products. ये क्यों डराते हो? So what does Amazon sell? How does Jeff Bezos make $115 billion and become the richest man in the world? I think now he's not. He has to give a lot of money to his wife, whom he is divorcing. But otherwise, yeah. पैसा किधर से बनता है?
15% margin on products.
Something more? Something more. My question is very simple.
Amazon
Cloud-based.
Web Services, sir. Amazon Web Services.
Amazon Web Services, AWS.
अरे तो बेचता क्या है? See, you are all business students. So I'm asking you a business question. What does Amazon sell?
Data.
Data, okay. To whom?
So it sells the products only which are on their website.
Again, does it sell the product? Do you pay Amazon? So that is the reason why it's a question which, if you answer correctly,
It's an
you don't
advertising.
need an MBA course.
Advertising. It's an advertising.
Advertising. What does it advertise? A to Z.
Product.
Product. What does it say? Buy a Sony from me. Or does it say the Amazon sale is back? So,
service.
okay. If I say with several caveats, Amazon sells nothing. It only sells a platform. It's only a platform. It sells nothing.
So, but there are Amazon basic products are there. Amazon brands are there.
Like what?
Solimo,
that is
Solimo
now maybe a few of them. In fact, I don't know if you know it, many of the products which are not top brands are also invested in by Amazon.
Cloudtail, so one of the biggest seller used to be and still on Amazon India. Cloudtail is used to be owned by Amazon directly, which was broken up by the rules because the rules were changed by the Indian government. So
Correct.
they're directly by selling. They were earning
Correct.
money from marketplace and being a seller also.
Absolutely. See, Maruti. I'll tell you something. You know, Maruti, as a car, you require about 5,000 components in every car, big and small, if not more, 5,000 plus. Now, if you look at companies like Maruti, Mahindra, Tata's, it is not one company. It is always a cluster. Am I right? There is a Tata cluster, there is a Maruti cluster, there is a Honda cluster, there is a Mahindra cluster. Now, what it means is the main company will be Mahindra and Mahindra or Tata Motors or Maruti Suzuki. And to supply them, the 5,000 small and medium-sized manufacturers will be somewhere within 10 kilometers of this place, or even less, 5 kilometers of this place. So effectively, 5,000 small companies and a big company make one cluster. So automobile companies are always in cluster, right? Similarly, Amazon also has an online and offline cluster. If I find that PV is important, or air conditioners are selling more, I find out what is the average price of the air conditioner sales, and then find out a manufacturer who can give 20% less. So this is what I could find. So clustered. Now let's come back to forget Amazon. I mean, we don't know what it sells, and we also don't know which companies it owns. It's a multi-billion-dollar company, and there are n number of products which it actually sells on its website, which is also owned by Amazon. And I think the Indian government says no. This was basically to help Ambani. Anyway, that's a different issue. So what I'm trying to say here is that every product or service starts with an idea, always. This is what might help. Yeah. In fact, let me throw open an idea. Then you get back to me. You're all MBA students. Is it fine? Can I throw open an idea?
Yes, sir. Why not?
Great.
Why not, sir?
Yeah. Thank you. So the idea is something like this. You know, an MBA program across the world, whether it is US, Europe, India, wherever, an MBA program is of 2 years duration. Yeah, you have either trimester system or semester system, whatever. But 2 years is generally given to you to do a management program. Now, if a company comes up and says, "Hey, I think 2 years is too much. I think if I give some basic idea of marketing, finance, HR, blah, 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 in 6 months, the person is ready for a job." Because after MBA, generally you are looking out for a job of about, say, 7 lakhs around the average. So he says, suppose if I start an MBA, somebody says, and the MBA is of 6 months, and 6 months later, he starts with a job at around, say, 2.5 lakhs. So do a management program for 6 months, the entire management program. It is not that you do a sales program or something. Entire management program in 6 months, a very, truncated management program, but 6 months. And at the end of 6 months, you go and do a job of 25,000 rupees. So that by the time it is 2 years, you are earning 8 lakhs plus. How does the idea grab you? 6 months MBA.
So if they're able to deliver that much knowledge in those 6 months, and if they guarantee that the package will, see, sir, MBA is all about learning at the end. So if we can learn on the job, and if we can learn in college the same thing, then why not go for it? Because we are not spending that much.
I think, sir, 6 months are going to be enough for to impart every kind of learning. Some people will learn, some people will not learn. People who want to learn will continue learning, and people who don't want to learn will obviously end up saving some time. The opportunity cost will not be that much. They can go back to earning money. So it's a good thing. It's a good idea.
Yes, I would like to continue what coronavirus just said, that if a person wants to learn, he'll learn it in 6 months also, and he'll learn the same thing in 2 years.
Great. Now, if I say that a company or an education institute is actually looking out to launch a 6 months management program, they call it as the MBA bootcamp. and throw it in a franchising mode across the country. And the person says, it is feasible and possible that in the next 5 years, by 2025, he wants to earn not much, only 1,000 crores.
Nice.
Nice. So let's see how it is. So it's an idea which has been generated by that guy. I always love young people. You know, they have ideas. You guys have ideas. And may not be, each and every idea may not be great, but out of the 1,000 ideas, 5 would be, and that is what can change the world, change the country. So idea generation. Remember, idea generation is a stage where you can generate some ideas which are world class. Yeah. Then comes the second part, concept development. What is concept development? You all know it. You are all engineers. Concept cars, concept bikes, and all those. These are nothing but a bare bones product which you develop and test whether the car works. I was in a university in Bangalore known as Presidency University. The engineering students of Presidency University has developed a sedan using, almost nothing. It's almost designed like a race car, and it's a concept car. They said, okay, just give us some money sometime, we'll make it into a working car. So that's a concept car. So concept development is the bare bones product which you can see with your hands and feel it. After the concept is developed, after some sort of a product is developed, you talk about feasibility. What is feasibility? Feasibility means, will this concept work? Will this concept be feasible as far as the resources go? Can I manufacture it in Pune? Or do I need to manufacture it in, let's say, China? So if I have to do it in China, the amount required will be much higher. If I do it in Pune, the amount required will be lesser, but possibly many of the products may not be there. Yeah, one of the problems in India right now is that there is a drug shortage. And one of the reasons why there is a drug shortage is because there is a lockdown in India. Because most of these drugs, intermediaries, the raw materials, come from China. China is in full force. They said, we will give it to you, you tell me when. But because India is locked down, the raw materials are not able to come to the factories. So the ship has to come to some port from China, maybe to Visakhapatnam or to Madras or wherever. And from there, it has to go to the hubs like Gujarat or Pune, or Aurangabad or whatever. And how does it go? So feasibility. Always remember, unless your product is feasible, you don't do it. And that feasibility is on resources, on raw materials, everything. And then after you feel that, yes, looks like feasible, that is when you test your concept. That is, develop the full car or develop the full product and make it into the testing mode. And then you test the product, test the market response to the product, and only then the 8th one, the last one is go, no go. Even after everything is done, feasibility is done, you can still say no go. For example, if you made a car and you have tested everything is good, suddenly government says in the next 6 months you have to have BS6. And my car is actually BS4, which means I cannot sell BS4 in the market after 6 months. So after a huge amount of testing, etc., I make a BS4 car and the government says BS6. What happens? Obviously, no go. Because then you have to again modify the engine, or again modify the pollution levels to BS6. That's another a few years again. So even at the end moment, you can have a no-go decision. If the market doesn't like your product, obviously no-go. For example, Sassoon from Mahindra. It is an automobile company which I believe Mahindra has bought long back. But it's not working. I mean, it doesn't work. Which means that I have to give up. So now Mahindra is planning to divest Sassoon. So this is what your product development stages are. Now the question is, after you have made a product, after it is a go, whom do you sell it to initially? 3-1, either your loyal customer, or your occasional customer, or a new person, that is a non-customer. So the gut feel is, try it on a loyal customer. He will buy whatever I sell. It is fine. It is fine if you do it. They will buy it also. But the blowback can be huge. For example, if they like your product, then it is feasible that they may not say no to your current product. If they like your new product, it doesn't mean that they love it. If they do not like it, then there is a loss of your current sales also. That means whatever was your current product might carry the stigma of a failed product. So you might end up losing your loyal customer because you have asked him to take a new one. So the only way in which loyal customers can take it is if they prefer your new product in addition to your current product. So giving it to loyal customer is a very big risk. But if you give it to non-customers on the other hand, the risks are very low. So anyway, he is not your customer and you try a new product on him and he doesn't like it. What it basically means is, bakwas hai, chhod do. Which means your main product is not it. Because he is anyway not your customer. You're trying to make a new segment with a new product. So that is fine. I mean, the blowback may not be huge. Okay, so this is what is the impact of product redesign on customers. Now the question is, how do you do the idea generation? I told you idea generation is important. Now, one of the ways in which you do a proactive idea generation is by analyzing the competitor. Now, whatever work your competitor is in is obviously one of the indicators where you should be. For example, in the pharma industry, now there are billions of dollars available to get a COVID-19 vaccine. The company that with the first vaccine which works will make $5 to $10 billion in the next 6 months. I'm not saying the others will not make, they will also make. But this guy will make between 5 to 6, why 5 to 6, maybe even $10 billion in the next 6 months, right? So competitor analysis. So if I am a pharma company, the first thing I have to do is find a COVID vaccine. Now, what is the problems in this? The problem in this is I am stopping my research in cancer. I am stopping my research in AIDS. I am stopping my research in malaria. I am stopping my research in every other thing except the COVID one. Okay, Adnan, we stop in 6 minutes, not an issue. What we can do is start afresh, do not break the link. What we can do is let us finish this and then take a 5-minute break and then we can do it. What do you say, Adnan? What do you say, friends?
Okay, sir.
Done. Done. So we wait until this meeting gets over, give us the 5 minutes and then restart. Okay, now coming back to proactive idea generation. So competitor analysis about what he's doing currently is important. Remember that competitor analysis has always got to be 24/7. You cannot just do it once and forget it. No, because competitor is currently bringing out several products. Competitor wants to beat you. You want to beat him, right? Now, what is the basis of your competitor analysis? Customer analysis. That is, what is the customer looking at now? If you look around the world, if you look at all the news channels you get, there is only one thing which is happening: COVID, coronavirus. I mean, it's very popular now. So COVID, coronavirus, COVID, coronavirus, COVID, coronavirus. How many people have died? How many people have recovered? Everything. Nobody wants to know, is there any road accident? Is there anything happening? Nothing. Only coronavirus. He is the star of all conversation now. He has put 1.3 billion people in jail, in lockup. So coronavirus is so powerful. I congratulate him. You know, just the thought of congratulations. So just the thought of coronavirus is making people sweat, and not only in India, across the world. Out of 180 countries, about 120 are severely affected. I had a colleague of mine, she is a professor in INSEAD, and she stayed in Switzerland. Switzerland is locked down for 5 weeks. Remember, they have the best doctors, the best medical system, and they cannot fight the coronavirus. So I congratulate coronavirus. You have locked down the world. So customer analysis. What does the customer need now? The customer needs a vaccine against coronavirus. The day the vaccine, I think that the first trial of a British vaccine is starting tomorrow. God help them. If that vaccine works, whichever company that is, I don't know which company, you know, Vio or whatever, believe you me, in the next 6 months, it is going to become a $6 billion company, at least. So,
China is going ahead, sir. Lot of human trials have already started. Even
Where?
1.5 months back.
Where?
China, Germany.
See, China has lost credibility. I'm so sorry to say, because of their cover-up, etc. So they have lost credibility. America is still searching, even though they have spent billions. They are still searching. Britain has come up with something.
Also, I don't think that China will ever come up with a vaccine, because even if it has, it will not come up with a vaccine, because then the world will suspect that it was their move. I just think so.
No, even if genuinely they come up with something good, their credibility is gone. That's all I can say.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's all I can say. Nothing else. So the British trials are starting tomorrow, human trials. So more power to them. And if that is successful, you and me can actually come out within 3 months or maybe a month and lead a very normal life, or whatever used to be normal, pre-March 21st. But the point I'm trying to make is competitor analysis is important. Whether you are developing a vaccine for coronavirus, or you're developing a new car, or you're developing a new concept in education, whatever, the competitor moves are important. Then we come to the reactive sources. So what is reactive sources? Reactive sources say, I know you have got a product, I have to fight you. You know, there is one company which is always ranked among the top innovators in the world, Apple. So whenever Apple comes up with a new design for phones, the person or the company which reacts is Samsung. Now, in Porter's generic strategies, I'm sure you have read three corners in that strategy: price leadership, innovation leadership, or niche market. Right? I'm sure you have gone through it.
Yes, sir.
So a company to be successful either will be the price leader or the innovation leader, or have a small market but a leader in that niche market. I think we will just close off. So let's close off now. Come back in about 5 minutes, have a glass of water, or if you can get a fast cup of tea from somewhere, and then we come back.
Okay, sir.
So we'll see you at
Okay.
11:46.
Right.
Yes.